Yo, yo, yo. What's good, y'all? Back with another video. This one is called Evil Wife Realizes She Can't Just Murder Her Husband. Yeah, so anybody that's married out there, this one is for y'all, man. I'm pretty sure you're gonna learn something from this one. You know what I mean? Hey, real quick though, I want to. You guys played this game yet? This game that just came out. Uh, it's called South of Midnight. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty like cool old school type of game. You know, got some platforming, combat seems pretty cool. It got like a somewhat of a Jedi Survivor kind of vibe to it, like Star Wars kind of like push pull force type of mechanics. You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. It just dropped I think a couple days ago. I was just playing it for a little bit. If you played it already, let me know what you think. Sounds pretty interesting. Kind of reminds me, gameplay wise, a little bit like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and as far as just the whole feel, the vibe of the game reminds me of Kena Bridge of Spirits. If you played that game, you know what I'm talking about. But let me know how you feel about that. It just came out. Looks kind of cool. It's on Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. So I got the subscription. But anyway, let's get back into this, man. Let's see what's going on, man. What are the wives out here doing, man?
On October 9th, 2020, Jennifer Faith and her husband Jamie stepped out of their home to walk their dog as they did every morning. Shortly after leaving, an unknown male approached the couple and shot Jamie 8 times. A nearby camera was able to pick up sound from the attack. After the attacker killed Jamie, he grabbed Jennifer, secured her hands and feet with duct tape, and then left the scene. A witness called the police.
Wait, what? He said that the dude ran up on the wife, tied her up in duct tape, and then just left the scene. Like, uh, did he rob him? Did he steal something?
And Jennifer was brought in for an interview.
And then I turned around and I just saw this person shoot and shoot. I couldn't believe, I didn't know. Why? That's all I remember are the shots.
And several shots?
Well, a lot of shots. Uh, five, six, maybe, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kept going, and I couldn't stop it. The birds turned and just dark eyes and coming toward me, and so I yelled no, and I had the dog, and I started to run, and he tackled me to the ground, and I stopped, ran, and he was hitting my face, and kept trying to turn me over, and he hit my side or back and hitting, and then tried to turn me over, and he's grabbing my arms and trying to take my rings, and then all of a sudden I saw a flash of it was silver, the gun was silver. Mm-hmm. And then he pulled out a roll of duct tape.
From his pants, or?
I think it had to have been, I think, or I don't know. He just had it. And he tied my tape in my hands. So, and then I don't know what happened. I remember screaming.
So as soon as you start screaming, so he just got up and went away? Did he do it?
No, I was screaming the whole time. He was trying to attack me the whole time I was screaming. And I don't know what happened that he went away. I don't know. He taped my hands, and then all of a sudden he was just gone.
Did you see what he had on?
You said, did you see what he had on?
I remember a bright blue, brighter than that color, surgical mask. Mm-hmm. He's my best friend, and such a good relationship. relationship and marriage, and we traveled together, we had all these plans. We have a cruise booked into 2022. We just booked it with our best friends.
Jennifer was told to go home while the police investigated her husband's murder.
Okay.
While she waited, Jennifer was interviewed by the local news, and she begged the public for help in finding her husband's killer. She also made sure to promote her GoFundMe, which raised almost $100,000.
It's been horrible, devastating. I teeter between completely heartbroken and completely devastated every day. If you know what happened, I need that for closure. I need to make some sense out of this.
The witness who called
Okay.
police was able to take a picture of the killer's truck, but the license plate had been removed. What stood out was a white letter T on the rear driver's side window. With little else to go on, the detective decided to go through Jennifer.
Oh, okay. This a white letter T. Okay.
Rear driver's side window. With little else to go on, the detective decided to go through Jennifer's phone. At first, nothing unusual appeared, but
Okay.
as he dug deeper, he found an old message Jennifer sent to a friend. In this message, she claims to have been emotionally cheating on her husband with a man by the name of Darren Lopez.
Oh, hold on. So I have no idea when I am going to be able to talk to you over the phone. I am pretty much having a full-blown emotional affair. And James Faith, knows it? Is that her husband? Is her husband James?
She claims to have been emotionally cheating on her husband with a man by the name of Darren Lopez. Darren was ex-military who had served 6 tours in Iraq. He had suffered a traumatic brain injury on his final tour, which resulted in him being medically discharged from the Army. DMV records showed that Darren owned the exact same truck the killer drove away in, so the detectives used a drone to scan Darren's property. The drone was able to locate the black truck, which had the same white T on the rear driver's side window.
Ooh.
The investigators obtained a search warrant for the home, and inside, they found the blue mask and the murder weapon Darren used to kill Jamie. Darren was arrested and brought in.
Damn. Wow. So she was right. She said it was a silver gun. Okay. Wait, hold on, wait. But the title of this video is Evil Wife Realizes She Can't Just Murder Her Husband. Wait, so did she kill him or did this guy kill him?
For interrogation, but he immediately asked for a lawyer. He was then booked on first-degree murder and sent to the county jail. Now that he had more information about the case, the detective decided to bring Jennifer back in for another interrogation.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, Jennifer, we're gonna get real deep today, okay?
Okay.
So I want to make sure that, you know, I don't want you to take offense to something I say because, hey, that's where we gotta go,
No,
okay?
I understand.
So, you and James, y'all walk out the house. You and James, y'all walk out the house, all right? Did you say anything?
Oh, wait. I just caught on. I just realized it. Hold on. Wait. They said that she's having an emotional affair with the Darren guy. The Darren guy is the guy who has the truck with the letter T on the back. So, did he kill her husband for her? And if so, did she want him to do it? Or did he just do it on his own free will because he wants her? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard for me to think like he wants her. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, she doesn't look like any trophy wife. She you know what I mean? She looks like she's probably in her late 50s, very out of shape. So I have a hard time believing that the guy would go out of his way to ruin his life to kill somebody just to get her. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. All right, let's find out what happened.
What were your last words to him?
The only thing I can remember, and I know I shared this with you before, is we goofed around in the morning. We had that kind of fun relationship.
Oh, wait. What he asked her? I ain't got you.
All right. Did you say anything to him? What were your last words to him?
The only thing I can remember, and I know I shared this with you before, is we goofed around in the morning.
we had that kind of fun relationship. So I just remember messing around with him in the bathroom. He was trying to brush his teeth and I was smacking his butt and just playful. And I just remember him saying, "Oh, so that's how it's going to be today." And I'm like, "Yep."
Okay.
Yeah, so what was happening was Jamie was walking backwards and he kept going forward.
So
they made James
I'm Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm walking. So go
back
ahead.
further,
Okay.
right there. And
So-
he was just this way.
It's shooting.
Walking, not running, walking toward him.
Okay.
And I was just watching, my eyes were on Jamie. I was just watching the fire shot, like the gunfire. Yeah.
After he shot Jamie, what happened?
He turned around and looked at me, and just that look, and I knew for sure he was coming after me. And so I said no, and I turned around, and I had Maggie, and I turned around and I tried to run up the driveway because I was in
He said, and I had Maggie. Who's Maggie? Is that I think that's a dog. They said it was walking a dog, right?
my head. I was thinking if I can get through my back gate, and he tackled me and just started punching. I saw a flash of the gun, and it flashed through my head that
What color was the gun?
silver.
Okay.
And it flashed through my head that he was going to hit me with a gun. I
Okay.
thought he was going to hit me with a gun. And he just didn't. He kept pulling at my fingers, and I kept rolling over, and then he was hitting the side of my face, and he'd roll me back, pull my shoulder, roll me back over, hitting, trying to take my rings. And then all of a sudden, like duct tape, and he taped my wrists together, and then I don't know what happened. but
Wait,
he-
hold on. Because they said they was going to walk a dog. So they was outside when this happened? Or did he break into their house afterwards? Because if they're outside, after he shoots the dude, why would he try to duct tape her outside? You know what I mean? Like unless was he gonna try to abduct her or something? That's a big woman to try to abduct. That's a big girl. Like, you're not abducting her unless you have like two other people with you to pick her up. So why would he tie her up with duct tape outside after shooting her husband? And not like he had like a silencer or nothing like that. It was like a loud bang, and then she's screaming. That don't make any sense. Like, it's one thing if he tried to take her rings, I get it. He'd say knock her to the ground, try to steal her jewelry. I could see that. But even then, like, what little jewelry are you gonna get off of her fingers that's worth killing the husband? You know what I mean? But if it really was the guy that she was having an affair with, maybe he's trying to make it look like a petty crime, maybe. And I would have to, at least I would think that she didn't know it was him, because if she knew it was him, if she knew it was the guy she was having an affair with, why would she tell the police the correct description of the gun that he used? Like, if she knew it was him, and I'm going by the title. The title says evil wife realizes she can't just murder her husband. So if she wanted him to do that, why would she give the correct description of him to the police? Why not give a different description to throw them off? Why not say he had a all black gun? It looked like it was like an all black gun. Or I didn't see what kind of gun it was, or you know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, I was so distraught from this situation that I can't, like, it's a blur what he looked like. I was just so scared for my life. She gave a description that matched. So that's kind of odd. If she's in on it, why give a correct description? You know what I mean? That's what's making me wonder. Maybe she wasn't in on it, and maybe the title is throwing me off. I don't know.
He stopped and he went to the truck.
You in your relationship. I know we spoke about your relationship before. All right. You described your relationship as you guys being the best of friends.
Oh yeah.
All right. You guys were, as far as like your relationship.
Still very much in love.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Never any signs of unfaithfulness in your relationship.
No.
What about yourself?
I've always been faithful.
So, and that's what I'm saying. We want to make sure, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's nothing. I mean, if there were anything, I mean, that's where we can hey, I need to
I
know.
know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Because these things you think about, you just walking outside your house.
Right.
Right. Somebody comes and kills your husband.
Right.
You know.
Oh, wait, she said she was always faithful. I mean, isn't that? Well, you know what? It said she had an emotional affair, so that doesn't mean sex was involved. She may have just been getting attention from that guy, possibly. So I guess maybe technically she probably thinking, as long as we didn't have any physical contact, is not me being unfaithful. I guess. I know some people will count. What do you think? Some people will count just giving somebody your attention, talking, even talking sexually or talking about possibly getting together as an affair. And then some people only count actually linking up and having intimate um physical interactions as an affair. What do you think? Do you think you have to be physical to be cheating, or can you just be talking on the phone and that could be considered cheating? What do you think?
I've thought about that too. That maybe it was somebody associated with me.
Yeah, and as far as like you haven't had any kind of sexual relationships, any dating anybody over the phone, anything.
No.
Okay, and so
I have male friends, but they're friends.
Okay.
Male coworkers that I'm close to, but they're.
The investigators were able to look into Darren's phone, and they found close to 24,000 text messages between Darren and Jennifer that were sent in a span of only a few months. Jennifer went to great lengths to hide these messages, but Darren wasn't as careful.
Have you ever heard of a name? Is it Darren?
Darren Lopez. Yeah.
Who is Darren?
He's one of my best friends. We dated in high school, and he doesn't know Jamie. I haven't seen him, and I mean, we talk on the phone every day at this point, but we dated in high school, and then we dated like 3 years in college.
Okay, so how long? So when did you meet? When did you meet?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I be watching like body language channels sometimes. Like there's another channel I watch called the Behavioral Panel, and if you want to get like a better understanding of like body language, how people react to certain situations or react to certain questions, how to tell if people's like lying or basically trying to be deceitful, or if they're nervous or agitated with something or whatever. That's a good channel to check out. The reason why I bring that up is because I was just looking at her hands. I want to go back and look at how her hands started moving after he asked about David or Darren, whatever the guy name is. I just want to just catch that again.
But Darren wasn't as careful.
Have you ever heard of a name? Is it Darren?
Darren Lopez. Yeah.
Who is Darren?
He's one of my best friends. We dated in high school, and he doesn't know Jamie. I haven't seen him, and
Look at her hand. She is fidgeting with that pen, man. She is fidgeting heavy with that pen. She's just like, David? Yeah, he's, she's just active right now.
I mean, we talk on the phone every day at this point, but we dated in high school, and then we dated like 3 years in college.
Okay, so how long?
Yo,
so when did you?
yo, what is with that? Like, she just said that this David guy, this Darren guy, whatever, he doesn't know her husband. Like Like they never met, doesn't know her husband. This is a guy that she dated back in high school. And now he's like her best friend. He's her best friend. They talk all the time. But he doesn't know her husband or never met her husband. Why your husband doesn't know your best friend, your best male friend? Why doesn't your husband know that? Know him. But yet you're faithful. That's sus, bro.
When did you meet Daryl?
1986. I know the
That's
last time I
sus.
saw him was August of 93.
August of 93?
Yeah. Since that time, he and I reconnected this last year. He contacted me and said that, just, how you find people on social media. And
So Jamie was still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. Before COVID, so I want to say maybe January, February. He's going through a messy divorce right now. So that's why we've been talking a lot.
Okay. When did you guys start actually just communicating a lot?
Pretty much right away, but I haven't physically seen him either.
Right. So as far as like the conversations that you guys had, what type of conversation? Because you think, and I want to make sure, Jennifer, and this is where I want to make sure that me and you on the same page.
Are you suspecting him of something?
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page, Jennifer. And I'm gonna tell you, because love will make you do some crazy things. You hear me?
Yeah.
Love will make you do some crazy things. Before Jamie died, as far as like the relationship that you and Darren had, all right? How was that? How was it? Was it strictly on a friendship level, or was there any kind of talk, intimate talk, or anything like that?
There wasn't intimate talk. I mean, definitely Darren and I had said, oh gosh, these are rekindling old feelings. And Jamie and I had a conversation about that too. And Jamie was, kind of like, this is really different for us. This is new. And so, that's just not me. That's not my MO. It's not anything I wouldn't want to hurt Jamie in any way, shape, or form. And those are feelings from the past.
The detective decides it's time to confront Jennifer. He explains that not only was she hiding information from the police, but she was also involved in her husband's murder.
And me personally, in my heart, I believe that you knew what happened that day. I really do.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You said that there was no connection. I asked you earlier if you were having an affair or were cheating on Darren.
On Darren, no.
Not Darren, I'm sorry, but on Jamie, right? You told Tina that he has a 5-year plan on how y'all are going to be together.
Who?
So, go ahead.
Yes, at the beginning, and that's what I told you, the emotions were very strong. And that's what he had said initially, is that once Hope, his youngest daughter, had graduated high school, maybe we could figure something out that made sense for all of us, that kind of thing. But I put a stop to it.
Wait, they made a 5-year. Wait, her and the Darren guy, the ex-boyfriend from back in high school, whatever. When they rekindled and started talking on the phone or whatever, for whatever reason, when he reached out to her, she's saying that they had like a 5-year plan of how they was gonna get back together. Here's the thing: he wouldn't feel comfortable bringing that up and trying to talk to you about a 5-year plan of y'all getting back together if you wasn't entertaining the idea of that and letting him feel like this was okay and something that you would be interested in talking about. Because if he knew that, hey, you would just shut this down and not want to talk to him anymore because of that, because you have respect for your husband, he wouldn't bring it up. The fact that he brought that conversation up, even if he did bring it up, who knows, maybe she did, but if it was him that brought it up, it's only because you made him feel like it was appropriate. She made him think it was appropriate, and clearly, if what's happening is true, then clearly it was appropriate. That's crazy, bro.
So between October 9th and November 25th, you guys had communicated over 24,000 times.
That's a lot, bro.
13,644 times were text messages. That's a lot.
24,000 times, bro? Sheesh. I don't even know if I have that many text messages in my phone. Wow.
A lot of times for somebody who's just different. And then let me tell you
Well, and I
more.
said that he's one of my best friends, and I'm helping him with his kids and stuff right now too.
Jennifer, you can call it what you want. You're a married woman.
Exactly.
Ain't no way in the world that I'm gonna talk to some other woman that many times throughout the day. Not only that.
Yo, that's probably more than she talks to her own husband, bro. That is probably more than she talks to her own husband.
Has a Nissan Titan pickup truck. Okay, we've been all the time. This whole time we've been thinking that it was a Texas Ranger sticker.
Yeah, what
right?
is it?
But you know, just like I know, where is Darren from?
Tennessee.
Right.
It's a Tennessee sticker?
This whole time.
Is it the same color?
Same black, same everything. I'm feeling like you tried to play me.
I'm not.
Yes, I did. And that's the way I feel. I feel like you tried to play me, that you're trying to play me. And this whole time, you knew, because I have proof right now that Darren was actually out there at your residence during that day.
How?
Even your Ring camera, when I asked you, what did you say? We saw that guy on your camera at 2:38 that morning.
Yeah.
Who did you tell me that was?
The guy across, I told you later after the guy across the street said that it was somebody who lived behind us.
No, that was Darren.
Huh? Wait, what?
Yeah.
At your Ring camera, when I asked you, what did you say? We saw that guy on your camera at 2:38 that morning.
Yeah.
Who did you tell me that was?
2:38 in the morning?
The guy across, I told you later after the guy across the street said that it was somebody who lived behind us.
No, that was Darren. And I believe that you knew that.
I don't know that. It doesn't even look familiar.
Jennifer, I'm gonna tell you even better.
How do you know for a fact it was him?
I have proof to know that he was there. We sat and we told the world. We told everybody.
I know.
We sat in front of his parents. We told them.
Because
hey,
I wanted to
but
find
the same guy that killed your husband, Jennifer, is the same guy that you're communicating with every day. You had over 24,000 text messages and calls. 24,000.
I don't work. He's retired. We talk throughout the day.
Jennifer, and besides the point, this guy killed your husband.
How do you know that?
Because I have proof. And guess what? Darren right now is currently in jail, locked up for murder right now.
Oh my God.
So my main thing is right now, what is he gonna tell me? Okay, why would he kill this guy?
I don't know.
I even read
it
his
doesn't even make sense. We haven't even seen each other.
I have proof there's a possibility that he came down there, that you guys did see each other.
We've
when
never
you went to
seen each other.
At the memorial. It's a possibility I have the information that he came to the memorial.
Oh my God, no, you're so wrong.
Okay.
You're so wrong.
But I'm gonna tell you like this, Jennifer. I know that Darren committed this offense.
Yeah.
I know that Darren killed your husband. He told you we have a 5-year plan. He said we have a 5-year plan on you guys being together. And then the thing about
that
it,
was at the very beginning when he was expressing that he still had loved me, all of that stuff, and we were like caught up in old emotions, but I put the brakes on it.
But you didn't put the brakes on it.
Nah, she didn't.
To this guy.
What you said?
On it.
But you didn't put the.
Because you still talking to this guy. Exactly. The fact that you was talking to this guy for that much was a problem. 24,000? Was it 24,000 or 2,400? I think it was 24,000 they said, right? I can't remember what was the time period that they spoke for that long, if it was like 6 months or whatever. I'm not gonna rewind it to see, but 24,000 is OD, bro. 24,000 is OD. The fact that they spoke that much, it just it just lets him think that it's okay to do everything else that he was doing or say everything else he was saying.
Right, so because you're still talking to this guy. How could you talk to somebody that you know that killed your husband?
I didn't know he killed my husband. I still don't know that he killed my husband. I wouldn't do that. Why would I do that?
And that's the question I have for you.
Because
think about it. If
Jamie
Jamie
and I were so in love. Ask anybody about our relationship.
Trust me, I did. If you know, my main thing is, this guy, he works every day, right? He worked every day. He provide. He took your daughter in.
Yeah.
As his own. Gave her his last name.
Yeah.
Why do anybody have?
Wow. 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 That's different, bro. Her husband, basically what the cop just said was, he said, your husband works every day. He provides. If I'm not mistaken, just like 2 minutes ago, she said that she doesn't work, right? Which is why she has all this time to text, because she doesn't work. So her husband, he works every day. He provides, meaning that she stays home and he works. He takes care of all the financials, takes care of her. She's home texting some other guy all day. And she's like probably having like this little excited, probably makes her feel like a little kid, makes her feel like a little teenage girl, you know, when you texting boys and your parents, you don't want your parents to find out that you're texting boys because they don't approve, because you're still, you're like 15 years old. Your parents, they're not gonna be okay with that. But your parents, they out taking care of the house. They working, they paying the bills, taking care of you. This probably makes her feel like a damn teenager again. She's home like a damn 15-year-old teenager, got nowhere to be, while her husband is out like the parent, taking care of her, taking care of the bills like the parent. And she's reliving her high school days with this guy who she dated back in high school. This feels exciting. It makes her feel young again. That's the vibe that I'm getting from it. And this guy right here, this cop is saying, bro, this guy was providing for you, going out there working. Like he was like an honorable dude in that sense. Also, she has a daughter from somebody else, apparently. And her husband, Jamie, not only did he accept that girl, but he also gave that daughter of hers his last name. And that's not his biological daughter. And I guess where he's going with this is, and you still did him like this? Why would you do this? And it's just crazy, because it just goes to show, like, you could be the best dude you could be for somebody. Or you could even be on the girl's defense. You could be the best girl you can be for somebody, for some guy. And they can still dog you out, treat you like shit. And in this case, if this is all true, if she really did get him killed, get you killed. Now I want to know why. Like, why? And I'm not gonna lie, I've seen so many cases like this. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a lot of videos of the husband killing the wife, or the wife killing the husband, or whatever the case is. And a lot of those things is usually for money. Like life insurance is a very, very big one. Life insurance for these like married couples, life insurance is a big, big one. That's like usually like number one, I believe. Like life insurance, like Like if the wife has a life insurance for like, oh, if she dies, you get like $750,000 or something, or whatever, over 1 million or whatever. You know what I mean? Or if the husband is rich, the wife, she gets whatever from that, and then she goes and lets the next boyfriend move in. The side nigga moves in. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's money, because money is usually like the number one reason for something like this. Unless they just in love and he just wanted to get the husband out the way. I don't know.
What do anybody have against Jamie? Why do anybody want to kill him? My biggest thing is, if you were so in love with Darren, just dump the guy.
I wasn't.
Just tell him, hey, it's over.
I was in love with my husband.
Just a lot of the things
He has never said that he was jealous of
he
Jamie.
said he said in a text message that he was jealous of Jamie and always figured that you to be his woman.
He's never said, show me, because he's never said that.
Okay.
And if you're so convinced, why even bother listening to me about all these other people who I thought might have something to do with it? Do you know how much I've been racking my brain if you knew this all along?
I know Darren killed your husband.
Oh, he brought some help? He brought some help? Okay.
I just
I know.
can't even wrap my brain around that.
I know. To where I can even put him on the street during the same times. Same. You gotta understand. There was so much groundwork, so many resources utilized in this investigation. Where I can tell you from the day he left to the day he came back came to Dallas, where he stopped at, to even going back to his residence in Tennessee.
It just doesn't make sense.
And Jennifer, this is another thing too. You knew what kind of vehicle Darren had, because you even researched a different type of vehicle for him. Because you got to think about it.
I did because
Jennifer, you got to think about this. When you first gave me consent for your cell phone when we were in the hospital.
yeah.
Okay. The thing that I'm having a hard time to believe is that everything on Darren's phone, the text messages, the calls. Oh, I told you over 24,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It
24,000.
wasn't consistent with your phone. So that led me to believe that you deleted a lot of the text messages that were inside that phone.
So
the communication that you had.
But I deleted a lot of people's text messages. I even deleted Jamie's text messages because my phone kept freezing.
But you got to think about it. If you guys are talking every day,
yeah.
texting every day,
And you deleting text messages?
Are telling me, and based on the proof and evidence that I have, saying that, hey, I'm communicating with this individual every day. We're talking about the guy who you said, and you told Tina, he has a 5-year plan on how we're going to be together. I have text messages between you and Darren talking about the intimacy level, or how he's going to hold you, how y'all going to get physical. I have those things. These are recent.
But why would that constitute killing my husband?
Because, and that's what I'm here to say. Like I told you before, why not just tell him, hey, I don't want to be with you no more, Jamie?
I've been married twice before. Divorce is not out of the realm of my possibilities.
But why kill Jamie? Why?
She was married twice before. So before Jamie, the guy who died, right? She was married twice before. I'm assuming those marriages ended in divorce. But with Jamie, what did she feel like? You know what? I've been married twice before, and after those marriages, I didn't get anything. Maybe she got child support, maybe. But ultimately, she probably thinking, damn, if I leave Jamie, what am I going to get out of this? We don't have no child together. I'm assuming they don't. So, like, what would I get out of this? I'm just thinking. Thinking out
Kill
loud.
him, exactly. I don't understand that.
Was it Darren's the one going through the struggle? Darren right now, Darren has a debt and Darren's behind on his bill. Water not even on. I know a lot about
His
Darren.
water's not on?
I'm just telling you right now. There's a lot of things right now that Darren has going on with himself, but I know wasn't about the money. I know about the MetLife insurance policy. I know about the other insurance policy.
Yo, I just said that. I just said that. Yo, I swear, yo, insurance policies be like the number one, like, killer or incentive for these spouses killing each other, bro. I swear, I will never put a life insurance on myself. I would never put a life insurance. I would never intentionally. I'm gonna say this right now. I will never intentionally put a life insurance on myself. So in the future, if something ever happens to me, and I just so happen to have a life insurance, trust me, that shit was forged. It was forged. I would never intentionally put a life insurance on myself, bro. You can clip that. Life insurance, bro. Oh my God. Okay. So now I think we know the why. At least that's where he's getting at.
There's a lot of things right now that Darren has going on with himself, but I know wasn't about the money. I know about the MetLife insurance policy. I know about the other insurance policy.
Yeah, that's
My main thing is you even have a GoFundMe, all right? That over $70,000. Okay?
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
my
living
main-
off of.
So my main thing is, why not just tell Jamie, hey, I don't want to be with you no more. But me, the way it's looking, because
The
you have
life
to
insurance
listen
policy
to
is
me.
a drop in the bucket compared to what Jamie made every year. That's like,
Okay,
if you're thinking that's a motive, you're barking up the wrong tree.
but I'm just saying. So what is the motive?
There isn't one. Not on my end.
Why do we? Why kill the guy? Why? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
When you just say, hey, easily dump him, because we know that Darren's in a financial bind right now. So that I mean, this is
That's
your
what
high school
you're talking
sweetheart.
about.
Jennifer, this is your high school sweetheart. This is the guy that you dated in high school. This is the guy you dated in college.
And I broke it off with him.
And this is the guy that you
Amber's
told
dad.
Tina that you guys were planning on getting married, but guess what? He ended up leaving off.
I'm out. I'm out.
You said what?
But guess what? He ended up leaving. This is the guy that you
Amber's
told
dad.
Tina that you guys were planning on getting married, but guess what? He ended up leaving off.
I'm out.
Hmm.
I'm out.
You see what I'm saying?
I need to
We
go
were
home.
talking. Okay.
Interview's done.
Who's Tina though? I don't know who Tina is.
Hold on 1 second. We'll walk you out. Give me 1 second, okay?
Where's my
Hold
phone?
on. She's at her phone.
Jennifer was arrested and charged with tampering with evidence for deleting the text messages off her phone. The investigators then
Yo, no way that other dude ruined his life for this, bro. No way he ruined his life for this. He went and killed somebody for this? No way. What did she say to him? If this is true, what could she have said to him to make him go throw his life away for this? Was it really like some life insurance thing? And maybe she was gonna give him like half of it or something? Like, what could it have been? There's no way he could have just done that just for this, bro. Shorty is shaped like Gru, bro, from Despicable Me, man.
charged with tampering with evidence for deleting the text messages
No way, bro. No way. And I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to think of it as like from a guy perspective. You know what I mean? Because guys are visual creatures, and I have a hard time thinking that he saw this and was just like, yo, I'm ready to risk it all for this. I'm just having a hard time. Is this like, is this something that you would think like, yeah, someone would be willing to risk their life for this right here? Like, yo, this right here, I'm ready to throw it all away for this. Is there somebody out there that you know that's like that? Because I don't know anybody that would throw their whole life away for that. You know what I mean? I'm just having a hard time with just wrapping my head around that.
off her phone. The investigators then looked into her computer, and they found hundreds of emails between her and Darren. These emails were the final piece of the puzzle, and they showed investigators what really happened. Jennifer was aware of two things. Her husband had a $600,000 life insurance policy, and Darren had brain damage and
$600,000 life insurance policy. Now, remember what I said I made an assumption. What if he had like a 750,000 or something? So that's pretty close. $600,000 life insurance policy. It's like she figured, hey, you know what? If I divorce him, she probably won't be seeing much, right? Probably, who knows? Might not get alimony. Who knows? But if he dies, she gets $600,000. Like, you want to kill him for $600,000? It's crazy, bro.
Her husband had a $600,000 life insurance policy, and Darren had brain damage and PTSD from his tours in Iraq.
He had brain damage and PTSD. All right, that makes more sense. That makes sense now. I'm like, why would you throw your life away for this? But he had brain damage. You gotta have brain damage to throw your life away for that. Gotta have brain damage, bro. Gotta be something wrong with you mentally.
Jennifer would email Darren telling him that her husband was emotionally and physically abusive towards her. She claimed that she was in fear for her life every day, but she was too scared to leave him. She gave Darren her credit cards and paid all of his bills, using her husband's money. Darren had spent most of his life in the military, but now he had a new goal.
So she was using her husband's money. Like, she's staying at home, not working. Her husband is working and paying all the bills. And whatever money that he gives her, she's using that money to pay some other guy's bills. Or maybe she has access to the account and she's taking money out of their joint account or whatever to pay some other man's bills. Some other man that she dated years ago who she's texting all the time and deleting messages so you don't get suspicious. She's sneaking around and paying some other guy's bills with her husband's money, bro. Yo, what kind of person is that, bro?
He believed he had to protect Jennifer from her abusive husband. The night before he took Jamie's life, he hid in their backyard, just as he had done in Iraq. When Jennifer and her husband...
Wait, the night before he hid in the backyard. So that must be in correlation to the person that was on the Ring camera. Oh, look, it says Ring right here. That's Ring, right? Or is that audio video surveillance? Yeah, I think that's Ring, right? Protected by Ring. So this is the Ring camera right here, actually, that we're watching. So apparently the Darren guy, he got caught on the Ring camera like 2-something in the morning. So I guess that was him the night before he, I guess, hid in the bushes or whatever, in the backyard or whatever.
And went for their morning walk. He followed them and then shot and killed Jamie. With this new evidence, they were able to charge Jennifer with murder for hire. The detectives then went to the county jail and told Darren the truth. They explained that Jennifer was never in any danger, and she manipulated him into murdering her husband. As soon as Darren realized that he had been lied to, he told the detectives everything.
Somewhere during that period of time...
I mean, lied to, even if he was abusing her or whatever the case is, why not tell... I forgot, this guy's mentally... he has brain damage, right? So I don't know how his brain damage affects him, but basically it makes him make stupid decisions, right? Apparently, because why not tell her? I mean, have you went to the police about that? Have you made a police report about the abuse? Like, because clearly, if I come over there and I just go over there and shoot him, yeah, it might stop him from abusing you, but then it's gonna throw my life away. And if they catch wind that you may have wanted me to do that, then that's both of us. So this is dumb. Anyway, this is dumb.
He told the detectives everything.
Somewhere during that period of time, Jennifer has told you that her husband is abusing her. because y'all immediately start talking about it. You reference it in an email I could show you, but you say, I know you're going through a horrible time. Don't let him, you're being brave through all this.
Right.
So it's very, very clear that she has told you something about
White Knight.
what her husband is doing. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Can you tell us how that started and what did she say?
Yes, I guess it was probably like 3 weeks, like you said, about 3 weeks afterwards. Basically, like I said, we always just text message with each other.
Okay.
And then it was one night I received a text message, and okay, this is going to be confusing for me because, I mean, up until 3 weeks ago, I had no idea she had been lying to me. So basically, from my understanding is that Jamie took her phone and started texting me.
Right.
And it was at night where he told me that he had her tied up in the closet, and he was going to do different things with her. So that's how it started.
All right, let me stop you there.
Wait.
Things with her.
He said he had her tied up in the closet. Why would he text you that he has his wife tied up in a closet and was gonna do different things to her? Now, by different things, what do you mean? Is it like sexual things? Is it like torture abuse that's non-sexual? Either way, what do you think, this is a fucking 1v1 video game? Like, if you think she's in danger based on these texts, why not call the police and have them go over there based on the text message that you got? You tell me that you went over there and then you didn't interact with them in the middle of them having like an issue. You interacted with them while they was out walking their dog together. And then you shot her. You shot him, I mean. Like what are we talking about? When you went up and shot, she wasn't in no danger.
So that's how it started.
All right, let me stop you there. So
Yes.
that text message you're talking about, was that from Jennifer's phone or
Yes.
from another phone that you didn't
No,
recognize?
it was always from Jennifer's phone. Basically, she had told me that he would take her phone.
Okay.
He would take her phone and he would start text messaging from her phone. All these things he was doing to her. I never told her about how, I didn't sleep for like the weekend. I literally got physically sick. I'd be throwing up.
Because you believe she was being abused?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, during the stuff he was
What the? Yo. I gotta keep reminding myself that brain damage. It's brain damage. I don't know how the brain damage is affecting him. I don't know if he thought like this before the brain damage, but the brain damage, I'm just gonna use that as the excuse because I'm just thinking the sympatry. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm just making up words now. The sympatry of the simping that's happening here. Oh my God, I can't believe the abuse that she's telling me that she's going through. It's making me sick to my stomach. I'm having trouble sleep at night. I'm having trouble sleeping at night because of what she's telling me about what her husband is doing to her. And as I'm throwing up, I'm sick. I can't sleep thinking about the abuse that she's going through. Oh my God. Like, what? Oh, like, what are we talking about, man? Like, I swear, like, simps are some of the most dangerous people, bro. I swear, bro. Simps are some of the most dangerous people because they're so naive. It's crazy, bro.
doing to her. I don't know if you've seen those text messages, but like the first time Jamie was pimping Jennifer out through Craigslist. And
Where?
Here in Dallas.
They send you those links? Like, where you...
No, I didn't get any of those. I was asking, but I never got any of that stuff.
So he's saying that she told him, apparently, that the husband was pimping out his wife on Craigslist. Now, for those of you who might not know what Craigslist is a website. If you want to check it out, it's called Craigslist.org. Craig is CRAIGS.org. list.org. It's a great site if you're looking for like an apartment, a used car to buy. Um, you could buy, or even offer services. Look for a job. Craigslist, I used that a lot back in the day. Actually, the car that I own right now, I bought it on Craigslist. Actually, I bought a nice car for like $10,000 cash, with only 62,000. I think I had like 60,000 miles on it. You know, and I had the car for like 2 3 years now, and it runs great. Um, but he's saying that the husband was selling his wife, selling her body on Craigslist, and it's a website. So if he is, he got to make a whole like Craigslisting, which would have a link. And he's saying the cop said, "Oh, did she send you the link?" And he said, "No, no, I never got that." So you never actually got any proof of this. She just said it. And something as a Craigslist link, you never even seen that. You just going off of her word. The brain damage. Okay.
She had said that he had created a Craigslist account, basically with the stuff. And then prior to going to Vegas, he had told her that, hey, he set some stuff up through Craigslist in Vegas. So I was in, well, what the, she told me, it's like, it was early in the, because usually a lot of times, text messages about abuse from Jamie and stuff wouldn't happen until like about after 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It'd be late at night. To me, she said that it was getting worse. She didn't know how to get out of the situation, and that she was going to, she asked for my help, and
by help, you mean the rescue mission?
right, well, yeah, by help, she said, I need ways to, how can I kill Jamie?
What?
When did she say that? It's over the phone or
Yes,
through text?
no, over the phone. She did this, we did this all through voice.
Tell us about that last call where you're coming on October 9th. It's going to happen finally.
I'd never had a date set up. We had talked about, like I said, with the stuff, and so then I said, well, I came up with a couple, plans. Like I said, how do you do an ambush, And then it's like, where is he always? Because they weren't working at the time, so he was never leaving. That they were never leaving the house and stuff like that. So the only time that he was basically leaving the house was
To walk the dog.
with her, was to walk the dog. They would always walk Maggie in the morning time frame, and they always took the same route and stuff like that. When I brought it up, it's like, well, the best thing to, if I ever did a rescue mission, it's like I would need to know where it is and stuff like that, and then so.
Like, did she know it would take place as they're walking?
This guy wanted to be a white knight so bad. A knight in shining armor. Like a fucking Disney movie or something. Why not just call the police, dummy? Why not call the police? If she's in such a dire need of a rescue from an abusive husband, all this time she's texting you, why not ask her, why aren't you calling the police? Why are you talking to me about this? Why don't you call the police and talk to them about this? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, you want me to do something that's going to cause me to get locked up? Like, why don't you just call the police? The brain damage.
Walking the dog.
Yes.
Did she know that you would come upon her, push her down, and duct tape her hands?
No.
She didn't know any of that?
No.
Did she?
I could believe that part. That part is very, very believable. That she did not know that he was going to do some stupid shit like, oh, I'm going to duct tape your hands outside. After I gun down your husband, I'm gonna act like I'm trying to take your jewelry, and then I'm gonna duct tape you outside while you're screaming, and then not take anything. That sounds retarded. And it makes sense. Now it makes sense hearing the brain damage. Now it makes perfect sense why somebody would do something so retarded like that.
Did you know on October 9th, 2020, when she walked out that door with her husband to walk the dog, that he would not be coming back?
I would have to assume yes. Like I said, me leaving Thursday saying, "Hey, I'm going to Greg's house. I'll talk to you on Friday."
That was the code for you. Your
That I was going to be there.
So you hear them come out, start walking south on Waverly, and tell us what happened.
I had just made the decision that basically it was a rescue mission. It was a military, in extremis rescue mission, basically where the target had to be, to save the hostage, the target had to be eliminated. So that's all I did. He came back in, I came out from the backyard, I got him in my sights, and I started opening fire.
What did he say?
Nothing.
I've had men die in my arms before. The human body can take a lot. You know, so if you're looking at why I shot him so many times is because I didn't want him to suffer.
What I want you to know, I appreciate you being here today, but that's a totally innocent man.
I know.
Totally innocent.
Now I know that.
In the end, Darren was
Bro, even if he wasn't innocent of the things that she told you he was doing, at the end of the day, she was still able to text and contact you, which means that she wasn't like some slave locked up in a cage somewhere. She still had access to her phone. She still had access to her phone. The question you should be thinking to ask her is, if you're able to contact me all this time, 24,000 times, why not just call the police? So you can get this handled the legal way. Brain damage.
sentenced to 60 years in prison for killing a man he believed. In the end, Darren was sentenced to 60 years in
60 years in prison.
For killing a man he believed was abusing Jennifer and selling her body on Craigslist. Jennifer received life in prison without the possibility of parole
Nice.
for her part in the crime. What are your thoughts on this case? Should Darren have received more or less time? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Darren should have got life in prison as well. Now, obviously, him and Shorty, they both look old as shit. Like both of them look like they're in their late 50s. So 60 years is basically life. Right? 60 years is basically life. Cause look at this guy. Is there a better full face picture of him? This is what he looked like. He has gray hairs. My man looks like he's in his late 50s, right? He looked like he's probably like 56 in this picture. So 60 years is technically life. He's gonna die in prison. 60 years? Yeah. He's probably gonna die in prison. I don't think there's gonna be any good behavior for him to get out. But hopefully he dies in prison. Like he doesn't get out. Because a person who thinks like that, who has brain damage and thinks like that, every situation is a military situation, and he just takes action in his own hands, extreme actions. We don't need people like that on the street. We don't need people like that with, out in the public with normal people like you and I. We don't need that out there mingling with us. You know what I mean? You might sneeze too close to him, and he might stab you in the neck. You know what I mean? For it, thinking it's a biological attack or something. You know what I mean? We don't need extremists like that. That's crazy. But you already know my thoughts. I already said my thoughts on it. $600,000 life insurance. You talk this guy into killing. She probably thought, my best bet, she probably thought, if I can get this guy to do that, if anything, because she doesn't understand the law, she probably thinking, oh, if you do the killing, you're the one that's at fault. I just talked him into it or tricked him into it. So she probably thinking she'll get no sentence at all. And if she was to get a sentence, it would be something light, maybe like 2,000. No, not 2,000. Like maybe like 2 to 5 years tops. But then she'll still have that money to look forward to, that 600,000 or whatever. Possibly. That's probably what she's thinking. That's probably what she's thinking. Or maybe she really thought that, hey, as long as I'm not the one doing the killing, I'm free. I could just say I didn't know he was going to do it and blame it on his brain damage or whatever the case is. She probably was aware of it. She probably was aware of how naive he was and thought she could just blame it on his naivety. But little did she know. That's crazy, bro. I feel bad for the husband, bro. I really feel bad for the husband. I don't know what he truly was like with her. Even if he was an asshole with her. Even if he was possibly cheating as well. Even if he was. We don't have his side. But even if he was. He didn't deserve to die. He was taking care of this woman. He didn't deserve that. And this goes to show, like, some people, either it's not enough, or they're just ungrateful, or they just can't just like the cop said, why not just break up with your husband and just leave? You've done it twice before. Why not just leave again? Money. Money is crazy, bro. The things people would do. Life insurance, man. I'm not gonna lie. The way I look at life insurance, I look at life insurance like voluntarily putting a bounty on your head. That's how I view life insurance. You are voluntarily putting a bounty on your head. And whoever is the beneficiary of that bounty when you croak, they're going to have an incentive to help you croak. Or at the very least, if they see you croaking, they'll have an incentive to not stop it from happening. So if you're with somebody who's able to easily pick up $1 million off of you croaking, and you're sitting next to them, you're eating some food, and that chicken bone gets stuck in your throat or something, and you choking, and you're trying to get them to help you Heimlich that out, there's a good chance that because of that $1 million, they might hesitate. And definitely, if they feel like it's high enough, they might not react. They might not help you, bro. Or if they do, they might pretend to help you, but not enough for it to be, substantial. Because they have an incentive to just let you croak. You know? I don't like putting myself in a situation where someone has an incentive on my downfall. You know what I mean? It's kind of like people say when you get married, like, why Oprah didn't marry that guy? What was his name? Stedman? Some guy she was in a relationship for so long. Why Oprah Winfrey didn't marry that guy? I don't think she ever married him, right? I remember that was like a big talk back in the day. Like she wasn't marrying him. And people was like, yeah, why don't she marry him? Why don't she marry him? Because, rich guys don't marry a girl who is not rich. They're together maybe 2 years or so. She divorces him, takes money out of that relationship from the divorce and leave, right? So people thinking, shit, especially guys. I know guys was clowning like, yo, it's a guy's turn, right? He got Oprah, okay. Oprah got that bag. Yo, we just need him to get in there. You know, why doesn't Oprah marry him? So that way, you know what I mean? She's been with him all these years. Why not get married? Huh? Why not? Because Oprah didn't want him to have access to that bag. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And with a bag that large, knowing that if you leave, you can get half of that bag or whatever, that's an incentive to leave. You can still live that lifestyle and not have to deal with that person anymore if you don't legit like that person. So that's why some people don't be liking to get married, because there's an incentive for some people to leave. Man, be careful what incentives the people around you might have for your downfall. Just be careful with what incentives are out there for people to prey on your downfall. That's the lesson of this video. Stay safe, y'all. Be careful who you spend your time with. Make sure you pay attention to the red flags. I'll catch you on the next video.